It's Teepa. And we had a plan, but just like always, dementia and plans have plan A, have plan B, and then be ready for C. So this morning, I want to introduce you to a woman who's been making the news a bit because she's done something extraordinary. She knows how to wash dishes and she's not afraid to do it. And she loves her husband and she's not afraid to do that. And she's figured out how to work a system that doesn't want to be worked. And she's not afraid to do that. And she's basically found a way to do something that nobody should be asked to do, because you love someone who has dementia. You care a lot about them and made choices that were best for them. And then COVID happened. Oh, did I do that? Yeah, COVID happened. And we have a system, a national system, that does not recognize the special needs of people living with dementia in congregate housing. It simply doesn't recognize it. It doesn't recognize the special needs of people living with dementia in homes alone with their family members who are overwhelmed. They don't have the resources. So we have a system that is not responding. And so we are asking family members who are doing above and beyond already to try to figure out how to make this work. Now, Mary, I have a question for you. You're from Florida, as I understand it, and we actually ran across each other because you worked with Ansley to create a video that helped tell the story and help share the story of your husband's dementia and your sort of figuring out how to support in a very positive way, but being part of his life every single day and committed to that and helping other people figure out how to do a better job of connecting. And he needed a lot of connections because of who he was. So tell us a little bit about how things were going before COVID and what was happening before COVID.
We had a really great routine. It's funny, the video that Ansley did, we did on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I went to see him again every night like I normally do. And on Thursday, they called me and said, you can't come back. So
now,
we had no idea.
I want to pause you there, Mary, because here's the thing. You didn't go see him. You went to be with him to help him complete his day, because without you, his day was not complete. So tell me where he was when you got there every evening.
He was eating dinner. Generally, they eat around 5:30. So I would go straight from work and I would be with him, sitting at the table with him as he finished his meal. We would go maybe out to the courtyard, depending upon if it was a nice evening, and go sit in some rocking chairs out there and enjoy a little bit of time together. That was really a great time for me to ask him questions. He's very verbal in the sense that he talks a lot. I can't understand anything that he says, but he doesn't know that. So I love to ask him, how was your day?
Well,
what do you think about that?
And you went down to it. And then when you did that, that was the one I told you that he said it. It was amazing and phenomenal. And when you do that, that's about all there was to it. And I tell you.
Right. I mean, it's a conversation. He gets to have a conversation with me about his day. We get to his room. I getting changed, getting into his, shorts and a t-shirt. We watch the same television we've watched forever in the evening times. We lay in bed with each other. He puts his head on my shoulder. We hold hands. Really a nice quiet time for us. I mean, even for me, after a long day, just to kind of have a couple hours.
So it wasn't just for him. It was also for you.
There's no question about that. Absolutely also for me. And our marriage, our love. I mean, that was part of who we are together.
One of those things where you have that thing like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like and then it was, he would kind of doze off, and I would kind of, sometimes he would blow me a kiss as I was walking out the door, and it was a great way to end the evening, to end a day.
So he completed his day with you. And if you were ever late or you never went.
No. I mean, I said in the video with Ansley, people have said to me, you don't need to go every day. Don't worry about going every day. And I said, not now. I want to go every day right now. This is where I need to be.
And there were times when, if you were a little late, he would be at the door waiting.
Standing at the door waiting for me, anticipating me being there.
So COVID happened. And the government made a decision that all family members, regardless of their role in the care of that human being, would be locked out. Although staff members would still be coming in and out and going home to their family and caring and coming back and going in and out. So that was happening. And in many communities, people were being isolated into their room, into a single room space in efforts to limit this thing. But the interesting thing is staff were given one set of instructions about how to live their life, and families were told, regardless of their role in someone's life and the role in the care of that person, you are eliminated. You have no role here, no matter how hard you work to control your access to other things, self-isolation, you have no role here. Is that fairly accurate from your perspective?
It's exactly accurate, and it's dumbfounding to hear you say it. I mean, it's just so absolutely ridiculous. Is that possibly what happened?
So it's like that a family was told, okay, so drop your kid off at daycare. The daycare workers are going to continue to come in and out, and we're going to isolate each of the children at daycare in separate rooms. And
exactly,
we're going to make it a live-in situation for those children, and you're not going to get to see them again except on video, or except you can stand outside the window with a 10-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 12-year-old, even a 15-year-old or a 16-year-old, and say to them, I can't come in. I know you don't understand the why of it, but I can see you, but you can't be with me. And I'm leaving you with people that you sort of know, but are not yours. And I'm not going to be with you. I mean, is that accurate?
Absolutely accurate.
Even though you've been with them every single day, making a difference in their life every single day. For some people, it's actually helping them eat. People
absolutely.
would eat differently if family members were with them.
Absolutely.
People would drink differently. People would bathe differently. People would allow mouth care with somebody that was part of their life prior to their dementia or through some of their dementia. And all those people, regardless, were told, we've got a better plan. It's called, these are the guidelines for residential care.
Because we have to save them. We're going to save them. Right. No, I've asked that 100 times. From what? From what?
They have a terminal illness. Each day is a day that either happens or it doesn't happen. And yes, there's COVID. None of us are saying no COVID. So Mary, tell me a little bit, what was your job? Because you were still working, because this was young onset. So you were still working. Tell me a little bit about your job. What was that?
I actually still do that job.
You're still working in addition to everything else. You still have your regular day job that you're doing with COVID restrictions?
I own a company, believe it or not.
Oh my heavens, you own a company and you're
So I'm running a company. It's the company is I'm a patient advocate. I'm actually a board certified patient advocate. I specialize in medical billing. But the skill set is exactly the same to fight. So
pause, because Mary, that's great to know. I mean, you really are in a key position and you understand the system really well. So what's the job you now have?
My new job?
Yeah, your new job.
My new job is a dishwasher. I'm a part-time dishwasher. So I do my claim medic, I do my patient advocacy in the morning during the day, and then at night I go and I wash dishes.
And so you do patient advocacy in the evening, in the afternoon, in the evening for your husband and his life. So you had to become a dishwasher in the community in order to be able to be present with your husband. Now, let's be clear. Tell me what you had to do to become this dishwasher. What kind of training did you receive?
It is absolutely legitimate. So I had to do obviously a COVID test, a drug test, a background screening, a TB test, and 20 hours worth of video tests.
Okay, so pause. So there were specifics. You had to do some testing to make sure you were a safe person physically and emotionally and socially to be in that setting.
Correct.
Those 4 criteria had to be met. And then you had to watch videos. Now, what were those videos mostly about?
Actually, some Alzheimer's training, some stages in Alzheimer's training, some hazardous waste disposal, some food handling, some COVID, I mean, just a wide range of
Okay. So
videos.
you said how many hours? 20 hours.
20.
So after you did that, then you're allowed to be in the building.
Correct.
And you're allowed to be present and make contact with people.
Correct.
So was that special? I mean, was that so special that other family members could not achieve that?
Absolutely, completely not.
Would they? I mean, so this is curious to me. So what's the difference between washing dishes and helping your husband settle in for the evening and spending quality time and you don't need a second job, do you, Mary?
Oh, no, I don't want it. I'm not in it for the money. That's for sure.
Oh.
The $9 an hour is not going to be the reason.
It's not going to be the reason you're doing this. Does it help them that you're washing dishes?
I think so. I think I'm a pretty good dishwasher.
You're a pretty good dishwasher. Do they benefit from having another person present?
Absolutely.
And do you have value beyond just your husband?
Absolutely. I just commented on our Facebook group that one of the family members that were there, that whose mother is there, she was talking about her and saying that she was at the same place with Steve. And I just wrote on her as a reply, I spoke to your mother twice yesterday. She was out in the courtyard and she was walking around and I opened the door for her and she told me she used to be a runner. And so, yes, I'm interacting with them when they've had no one else from the outside interacting with them either.
So what we're all saying is this idea of all or none, this idea of we may go into lockdown again. It's like, where are the risks and how are we dealing with them? Let's quit putting it into terms that are bleak and all or nothing. And let's start being person-centered. Let's look at the nuance. And so you're part of a group that you started, a Facebook group that is really in alignment with this positive approach that we're into, which is, tell us the name of your Facebook group.
It is actually called Caregivers for Compromise, because isolation kills too.
Boy, does it ever.
Right. And it is booming. People need a place to tell their stories.
Yeah.
They're helpless.
It's really, people are feeling hopeless, helpless, unlistened to. It's the invisible. People are invisible, being given inadequate support because it's not enough. You cannot take people who needed support, take away support and say they're fine. They are not fine. And COVID is just one issue. Falls, eating, being able to manage things. So we're not done. Mary, would you be willing to come back tomorrow and talk a little more?
I would love it.
Because I said I was sorry for stirring the pot. I'm not.
Me either.
I'm sorry, I'm not. We're back again because no one has been listening. We are tired of this happening. Black lives matter, but so does every single life of a person living with dementia, and every family member and every staff member who is asked to go above, beyond what is reasonable in order to meet some ridiculous guideline that was never designed for the people that we're caring for. They're being treated as though they were able, when the whole point of their diagnosis is they need support, assistance, interaction. We are killing them by not caring where care is needed. So come tomorrow, we're back.
Okay.
We're going to talk some more about some of the people we've lost and how we've lost them. We're going to talk about some of the ideas we have that would make a difference. We are not willing to go back into lockdown all over again when family members visiting was not what caused the problem.
Right.
Let's be honest. I've said from the beginning, we need to think in cohorts. Now, all of a sudden, school systems are starting to think that way. I'm not willing to shut up because it's time for all of us to stand up. Mary, thank you. This isn't the sugar-coated message that we're hearing about your sweet story on the international and national scene, because everybody wants to pat it and make it okay. And what I'm saying is, what family member should be asked when they run a business to come in and serve as a dishwasher so they can support their husband, who they gave into the care of the system because it worked best for him and his life with dementia. And she was part of it every day, and she still is, but only because she was willing to do the impossible with the inadequate. So we're coming back. We're not done. We're raising the alarm because it's about time again that we stop being okay with what's going on, because we're not.
Right.
And we've got to make enough noise. It's got to change. It has got to change.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Corey. We'll see everybody tomorrow. Same time, same station.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe to help us spread Teepa's positive approach message around the world. And don't forget to click the bell to get notified when new videos are posted.